If you've ever tuned into one of my videos, you know that I absolutely adore autumn. Now, I've got loads of Halloween clothes, I've got a Halloween jumper that I crocheted, I've got little Halloween tops, but I don't have anything that's like specifically autumnal. So I thought what I would do is I would make myself an amazing autumnal vest. Now, if you've never ever been to my channel before, my name is Stephanie Mitchard. I crochet, I craft, I do lots and lots of different types of things. And this is our little corner of the internet where we do all things crochet, all things crafty. Now, I say our little corner of the internet because the best thing about my channel is we have formed an absolutely amazing community here. That's the most special thing about doing these videos. When I started doing these videos last November, I never ever thought that I would bring together like a proper craft club. We've actually got our Facebook group, which is the Mitchard Mateys Craft Club. We've also started a Discord as well because the chat functions over on Facebook are actually being removed. All of the details for that I'm going to link down below. We upload twice a week. Wednesdays we have our Chit Chat and Crochet podcast, and Sunday we have our craft project of the week. So we're getting together twice a week. We have premiere videos. So Wednesday it's at 7 p.m, Sunday it's at 10 a.m, and we have them as a premiere, so you have a live chat function. So it's kind of like we have a craft club, and it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can come and you can be part of the craft club. I love the fact as well that Wendy called us the Mitchard Mateys and the name is just stuck, and like now that's like what we call ourselves. Now, I never ever want any of my content to ever go behind a paywall. What I believe is regardless of your budget, you should have access to our community. But if you do want to help out in any way, I do have a membership, which is $2.99 a month. It's a YouTube membership. And what you get for that is you get priority responses to comments. You get a badge next to your name saying that you're part of the club. And also you get a shout out in every single video. So I'd like to say a massive thank you to Wendy, to David, to Emma, to Claire, to Emma, to Teddy and to Liz. Thank you so much for everyone supporting the channel. Also, we have the coffee app as well if there's one-off payments if you want to support that way. I also want to say that this is not expected and I don't want to put any pressure on anyone to sort of join a membership or to do the coffee app. The most important thing to me is that you're here and part of the community, and if you do want to help out in any way, sharing the videos, commenting and liking, that all really helps push me towards the algorithm. So I wanted to get this video out last week. This video is actually a week late. I was going to do the thrift video this week and I was going to do the autumnal vest last week. But unfortunately, the week before I went away, I got really sick. Oh my gosh, I was so ill. And I really wanted to sort of model the vest and everything. And I had like this big, massive swollen sort of lip and it was just gross and awful. I thought, I can't be filming myself looking like that. I look crazy. So I decided against it and decided that I would wait and I would film it when I get back. I got back from holiday yesterday. And I will be honest, I am absolutely knackered. I had the best time. I went on a Disney cruise. I've been talking about it in a few other videos. And I will be doing a video soon. I'm going to do a full video showing you all what I got up to. We went to some amazing places. We went to Vigo. We went to Bilbao. We went to La Corona. And we went to La Rochelle as well. It was just so amazing. But yeah, so much to tell you. Me, Red and Jackson, and B and Shane, Red's sister and brother-in-law, we had the best time, and there's going to be a full update all about what we got up to. But now I'm back, and I'm back from sunny Spain and lovely sunny France, and now I'm very much ready to get back into like the autumnal groove. And what better way than sharing this crazy autumnal jumper that I made. You actually will have seen it because I actually wore it when I went up to the yarn gathering in Wales. Oh my gosh, I felt like that day, both me, David and Liz, we were all kind of serving our own kind of version of what we sort of think autumn is about. You had David, who looked kind of very much like, I'm like a Halloween spooky kind of guy going out to my yarn festival to find my spooky wools. You had Liz, who was almost given like a sort of a collegiate kind of vibe, like, oh, I'm like Rory Gilmore and I'm going to Yale and I'm going to go and study the literacy masters and I'm going to sit under a tree and read. Like, I loved both of their outfits. And then me, I looked like like one of those sort of like models from a 1970s crochet catalogue. I looked bizarre. I looked crazy. It was really, really fun. It's like my favourite outfit. It was really funny because that morning, Red's best friend George was actually staying with us. And I came downstairs and I was like, okay, do I put like I had my orange glasses. I was put my orange glasses on. I had my pumpkin earrings on. And I was like, should I wear this with it? And George, he couldn't have said it in a better way. He was like, when you put the orange glasses on and the pumpkin earrings, it takes it into a costume. Which I was like, that was the note that I needed. So I have absolutely made up to show you what I've made. So the walls that I've used for this are the bonus DK. You all know how much I love bonus DK, and I'm going to list down below the full list of colours that I did. Now this video, I'm actually going to be doing it a little bit differently because normally I don't do tutorials. My kind of vibe is very much like a visual diary, like, hey, this is what I'm making, look at what I've made, this is what we've done, and we kind of go from there. But we're going to do something a bit different. I'm actually going to do a bit of a tutorial because a lot of you have asked me questions about tapestry, and the best way of me kind of describing anything really is just showing you what I actually do. So for the first 10 minutes of this video, what we're going to be doing is a tutorial, and then we go into the more of that diary kind of style. And at the very, very end, I'm going to model my creation for you. So let's get on with it. Okay, so let's start working out what the vest is actually going to look like. So I think, like I said before, I've never ever made a vest before. And the idea that I've got in my head is I want this like cute patchworky kind of vest. I'm thinking the squares, when I've looked up some designs, they're probably going to be 24 by 24 squares. Because I know if I make a jumper for myself, especially like single crochets, double crochets, it's going to be about 110 each side. Because I'm a size sort of like 18 to 20. So I know that that is going to fit me. So the way I'm working it, I'm actually going to do it like a little bit bigger than normal. It's going to be, I think, 125. Actually, probably not, because I'm probably going to end up doing a border on them as well. So it will probably, no, it will be 125. It'll be 125. No, it won't. Oh my gosh, how many stitches across is it going to be? So I've got 24, so 26. So it's going to end up being more close to 130 stitches, I think. That's roughly. So when I've drawn this out, I'm thinking it's going to be 17 squares by like 4.5, like 4 half squares. So you can see you've got the armpits and then you've got the neckline as well. So the white squares, what they're going to represent is where the actual tapestries are going to go. So the white backgrounds, they're going to have the tapestry designs. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have colour coming in to the other little designs. And it's just going to be plain little patchwork colours. Obviously, this is the design, but whether this is what's going to pan out, I don't know. This is the thing. It's all so much like trial and error. We just have to figure it out as we go along, like, and just see what happens. So not fully colouring in these little squares. It's just to kind of give us a little bit of an impression of what this is going to look like. So the colours that I've chosen all bonus DK. You know your girl, she loves a bit of bonus DK. We're going to be using the burnt orange. We're going to be using the scarlet. And we're also going to be using, I think it's called chocolate. And then the white is actually their cream, which is kind of like an off-white. It's not like a really yellowy cream, which I really like. So I don't really like a really yellowy cream. But then sometimes I also don't like a really stark white as well. So having it like slightly off, I just think is just a little bit nicer, especially nicer on the eyes when you're looking at something. Michelle Jasic actually made a Wednesday vest, and she actually used, I was like sat there crocheting up with this exact same colour that she was using. I was like, oh my god, yeah. And she's done a black and white vest with the cream, the bonus DK cream, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I think it just kind of like slightly elevates the work when it's not extremely stark, and it actually just makes it look a little bit more classy. So I mean, not that this garment that I'm going to be making is going to look classy. I'm going to look absolutely crackers when I'm wearing this. I'm very excited to see what I end up making. I really do want to serve like ginger snap, the mother and ginger snaps. Has anyone ever seen ginger snaps, by the way? Oh, I saw it for the first time this year. Like, it's always been on my bucket list of like films that I want to see, because it's like very like female. It's very, very bodily. Oh, let me just tell you what I'm doing here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm actually copy and pasting the design. So I want it to look exactly the same. And then what I end up doing is I end up deleting all of those like inside, so I can like move the colours like around. So that's what I'm doing here. So I've deleted all the colours now. So what I'm doing here is I'm just drawing in like a bit of a little loop at the back. So what I'll do is like reduce stitches to kind of give it a nice little curved neckline. And I'm just drawing in where I'm aiming for these little panels to go. So we'll see where we get up to with that. But yeah, Ginger Snaps, it's about a teenage girl that turns into a vampire. But the mum, she wears these like amazing, because it's all set obviously around Halloween in the autumn, and she has these like really, really like over the top like jackets and coats. QVC used to have this brand called Quacker Factory, and I strongly, strongly urge you to go look up some 90s Quacker Factory looks. My mum used to work for QVC, and they had like their shop, and sometimes you get like really, really good like discounted things in the employee shop. So she'd always come home with like these like mad Quacker Factory things for like us to like put in like the dressing up box. So like at Christmas we'd all have like these like bejeweled Santa Claus like jackets and stuff. It was like so funny. So funny. So this is basically my kind of like homage to the mother and ginger snaps. Like, this is what I imagine like she would rock like in like, you know, the September, the fall period. Like, that is exactly what I imagine. Also, the colour that I'm going to be using to join it all is going to be the golden by Bonus DK. I kind of wish what I'd done is I've actually, you know, where I've done the black, I should have drawn out the outline in the yellow, but at the same time, it probably wouldn't have stood out as much. And it probably would have driven me crazy, but it would have looked really, really cool. But yeah, this is basically what I think it's going to look like. I'm going to need 17 tapestry squares. I'm going to need 5 brown, 6 red, 7 orange. And then the half squares, I'm going to need 4 white, 1 red and 1 orange. So that's what I'm aiming for. That is the plan. And I like to do this just so I've got like a bit of an aim and a bit of a goal. Because you guys know I don't really use patterns. I just kind of, it just comes out of my head and I just kind of figure it out as I'm going along. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. Things may change, but I know that that is like a rough plan for me to kind of go from. So we all know how much I love tapestry work, but I've never actually sat on the channel and showed anyone how to actually do tapestry. So these are the designs that I've chosen for the project. I literally got these on Pinterest. I'm going to link the board in the notes so you can actually get these. These 5 designs, these were just a colour grid. I think they're literally from a school, just like a colour grid. But again, because of just these squares, they can translate into tapestry, into hammer beads, into cross stitch, into all those different types of things. They also did a leaf, but when I tried to make it up, the leaf didn't look quite right. So I ended up changing it to this design. So the design that we're going to be doing now is this, and I've actually made one up here. So this is what the little patch looks like once you have made it up. And this is what I'm going to show you how to make in this little segment. So we have this cream, we've got signal red, this is all Bonus DK, scarlet, this is bronze, and then I also have these 2 greys, which for the life of me the name of them has just gone. I think Bonus DK only do 4 different types of greys. So they're the colours that I'm going to be using for this project. Again, I can't recommend enough getting yarn bobbins. I just think they're absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to go back to the design for a second. So the design itself are 20 by 20 squares, but I am actually going to make these up to 24 by 24 because some of the designs like the pumpkin and the acorn, they go right to the edge. So we need to have that little bit extra going around the sides, otherwise it just wouldn't look right. So what we're going to start off with is 4 rows. I'm doing this with a 4mm hook as well. We're going to start off with 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 of cream, 24 single crochets. We are doing this all in single. So how I always start is with a slip knot, tie in that round my finger twice, pull over again, and then put your hook on your yarn. So let's crochet up 24 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 23, 24. For the first row, I always do an extra one, and then go back into the one that's close to your hook, single crochet, and then single crochet all the way along. I will be back once I have done 4 rows of 24 single crochets. Okay, so we're getting to the end of that 4th row, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the colours in. Now, I'm not going to show you how I do the entire thing, because I feel like that'll just be like dead boring for you to watch. But what I wanted to just show how I actually do tapestry work. So if you're thinking about getting into tapestry work, you're going to be able to have a bit of a guide to it. So this is the row that we're going to be doing here. So we're going to be using, where are we? Where's the bronze? Here is the bronze here. So for this row, it's cream and bronze. So we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 stitches. And then we're going to add in that bronze. Okay, so let me bring that up. 1, 2, 3. So I have actually looked at this, and I know I've added these little grids up here because I thought for some reason that this design was 20 by 20. It's not, it's 20 by 24. So ignore these little bits here that I've got on the design. What we're going to do is do 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then it's another 8 rows of the bronze, and then it's 8 rows of the cream. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, 6 single crochets so far. 7 and then 8. Right, so we picked up the 8th stitch. What we're going to do now is we are going to attach this to our cream. We're going to hold it with our finger just behind there. So this is the stitch that's before the colour change. Instead of finishing off that stitch with the cream, you are going to pull through that colour change into that stitch there. By doing this, what you end up with is a seamless look, where what happens is if you don't do that, the colour from the stitch before starts to bleed into it. So you don't get this like neatness that you do when you're doing your colour changes. So always remember when you're doing your tapestry work to bring in that colour from the stitch before. Right, I'm going to hold this here, and what we're going to do, we're actually going to crochet around that tail. And then what that does is that just kind of keeps the work a little bit neat at the back for you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, look at this. It's not that neat, is it? But you know what? It's just me that's wearing it, so it doesn't matter too much. I really do wish I can get a bit neater with doing these tapestry works, but you know what? It'll come with time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So now we're going to do that colour switch again. So we pick up the cream. We go through those last 2 stitches of the bronze, and now we're ready to work in the cream there. 1, 2, and 8. Okay, so there is our first row. I have just realised that I've done a massive mistake by crocheting 4. So I just realised I've made a mistake. So I thought it was 24 by 24. It wasn't. It's 28 by 28. So really it should have just been 2 single crochets at the beginning there. But you know what? For the purpose of this, I'm just doing a demo of tapestry work. So after this, I'm going to take it apart and restart it. But at least you're just going to get a bit of a vibe of how you actually do tapestry work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the work now. Now, what we need is a row of bronze, then 8 rows of grey, then a bronze, and then, so it's 7 of cream, 1 bronze, 8 rows of 8 stitches of grey, 1 bronze, 7 stitches of cream. So let's turn this, and we go 1, 7. So remember, because we're about to switch our colour, we hold that cream to the side. We're going to pick up that bronze and pull through. go through there, 1, pull that back to the side. Now we need our grey. We're also working back to front as well, so you kind of have to get your head around that a little bit too. So instead of kind of holding to the back, you're basically holding to the front. So we're going to put that grey there, and we are going to pull through that bronze. And we are going to crochet along now 8. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. And then what we need now is the bronze. So what we'll do is I'll pull that to the front there, pull through those last 2 loops of the grey for that nice seamless change. Go through there. Now we need to change to the cream. So make sure you pull that to the side and hold that with your thumb. And then we're going to pull the cream through. And then 7. 1, 2, 3, 7. So that is what that looks like. Isn't that fantastic? So that is basically how you do your colour changes. And that could be the same for any project. If you're just doing a colour change, make sure you're pulling it through on the stitch before you need that colour change. And that is basically what we're going to do. For all those rows, we're just going to be following this back and forwards. But like I said, I messed up because for some reason, I didn't pay attention when I was messing around with this. And that is actually 24 by 24. But I was following these little grids because I'm silly. I'm silly. So I'm going to take this apart now and do this again properly. But I just wanted to show you all how you do that tapestry work, because I feel like I do a lot of tapestry work on this channel and it's quite hard to kind of get your head around, especially if you haven't got those little tips and tricks, like having the like making sure that you're changing colours before, make sure you're picking your yarn up so it keeps the, you know, the work neat and that kind of thing. Right, so I'm just going to undo 2 rows and then I can start again. Right, I will pick up back with you once I have done a few more of these. So these are all of the designs that I've just been finished. So we've got this little mushroom here, we've got the pumpkin, we have got our leaf, we've got a tree, an acorn, and we also have our little squirrel. So what I need to make is 17 in total. So I need to do basically 2 more of every single one, and then I need to pick 5. Basically I need to drop 1 design. So that's where I'm up to. I'm gonna go make a load, and because I'm looking at the size of them, I'm starting to think that maybe I might need to pare this down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 12 and then we'll see where we get up to. Okay, so I've actually now done doubles of all of them. Now what I need to do is I need to work on doing some more of these patches, because I'm going to need to have, I think it's 6 of the red, 7 of the orange. Is it 6 or 5? I can't remember. I've got it all wrote down. You've seen before. So again, I'm just going to try and make a few of these, and I'm going to work on the front panel and try and get that fixed. Or not fixed, get put together. So I've started laying out the squares. This is basically what I'm thinking it's going to look like on the front, and then I've made this to go for the neckline. How I did it was I basically just did it exactly the same as the squares, but when I got to the 12th stitch, I turned it back on itself. So what I did was I did 24, then what I did was I did 12, and then I reduced, so I just basically skipped the first stitch, then reduced it to 11, turned around, went all the way back, so I did another 11. So basically I'm doing 2 rows of like the same amount of stitches, and then I reduce. So it's 2 rows and then a reduce row. And I basically just did that all the way up to the top until it reduced down to 2. And then I just kept turning it and doing 2s right until I had 24 rows. So you can see it's the same height as the squares. And then I'm going to stitch that at the top. So that is what I'm thinking. So I will let you know where I get up to. I just realised that I had them all laid out the wrong way, and that would have been like the back panel. This would be what the front panel looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch all of this together, stitch this in, because I want to make sure that this is long enough and not, also not too short and not too long. So that is what I'm going to do, and then I will check in with you guys. Okay, so I'm relaying this out because I think this is going to end up being too long if I end up doing an extra row down there. I also had a red one here in the original kind of placement when I was kind of figuring it out, and I'm actually going to use orange now instead because I just think orange would balance it out a little bit more. I'm also thinking of maybe choosing it different and just doing it again. So right, I'm going to press pause. I'm going to put two other little designs there, and we're going to see how that looks instead. Okay, I actually think that looks a lot better than having the tree there, having the leaf, because I think the leaf is one that I'm like really, really proud of, and I think that's what I want on the front. And then I can put the tree up here. Okay, so I've just finished doing the back piece. So this part is the side panel. This part is the side panel. This is for the front piece, sorry. And this is going to start being the back piece. So I need to make another little triangle here and then another little triangle there. So I'm going to have my tapestry piece here, tapestry pieces here and here, and tapestry pieces here and here. So I need to do a half triangle in a colour there, a half triangle in a colour there. I need to make two white tapestry pieces here and here, and one maybe orange square here. But I'd already started to make a little brown piece, so maybe I'll just finish that there and then do those two triangles in orange. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do that because they're already made, and I've made these. They just need the yellow going around them. And then I just need to figure out what I'm going to do here, because that is supposed to be like sitting on top of the shoulder, which would mean that that would need a white tapestry piece, but it's going to have a white tapestry piece there. So I'm just going to need to figure that out once I get there. So we'll figure that out once I've made those pieces and stitched them all together. Okay, so I'm just trying this on. Obviously the t-shirt looks crazy. I'm wearing my Darius 6 Ad Whale t-shirt. This is looking so cute. So what I want to do now is I'm going to do like a little cuff going around here, because obviously I have like this. I need to try and like blend that in on either side, and then it looks a bit too much of a deep V, so I'm going to do like a little cuff going around here as well, and then obviously just for the like the end too. But it's really coming together. It's exactly kind of like what I'm picturing. It's like very kind of like tacky 90s. So I have just steamed out the vest. I finished this last night. I am so made up with it. It looks so cute. How I've done this, so this edging, I just literally stitched this directly on. I've done double crochets, and then I've done back post, front post, back post, front post, double crochets all the way along. It's annoying because this is actually flattened down when I was ironing it on the back, which I'm like, it's got all flat and funny, but it's okay, it's fine. But look how nice that looks. I am absolutely made up. Right, let's go try it on. Okay, so I'm trying this on with a little yellow top. How cute does this look? Oh, I'm actually like really, really happy right now. It's like really crazy. It's a really crazy garment, but I love it. Oh, this is my autumn vest. My little autumn vest. I've got like, I'm gonna get a few like little polos like in the different colours, like the reds and like the yellows, and like, so I want red and I want brown and an orange, because I just think how cute would it be, a little polo neck like this. I am made up with this little jumper. It's like so cute, little vest. I've never had a vest before. Oh my gosh, I'm actually buzzing. Also, ironing it and steaming it has just made it drape a lot nicer, where when I first made it, it was quite stiff, where just having that little bit of the steam, just pushing it out a little bit, it's also kind of flattened the tapestry work as well, so they don't feel as kind of raised anymore. It's really, really, really lovely. Oh, I'm made up with this. Now I have this like little autumn garment. Look at the big pumpkin, it's so cute. So here she is. I'm standing on my tippy toes so you can see her in all of her glory. I am absolutely made up with how this turned out. This is better than I ever could have expected. And I think doing the blocking on this makes it just drape in a way that it wouldn't have if I hadn't blocked it. I'm now like super into blocking my work. Like, I don't know whether you can tell, but like, from this video, really into blocking my work. When I blocked it, it was like the whole garment just transformed. And I can't even get over how amazing this is. I think I do need to buy some polar necks though, because I feel like the yellow with this yellow border, it's kind of blaring and becoming one, where I'm thinking maybe a red polar neck or maybe a brown polar neck, that might look a little bit better. So I'm going to turn around so you can see the whole thing. I didn't do a tapestry for the top white square, mainly because I wear my hair down a lot. So I thought, what's the point? It's just going to be covered up by my hair, although I'm wearing my hair up in this video. I also, it's a little bit different as well with this project, is crocheting the border, doing a front post, back post, double crochet. Really love the effect of that. Love the colours. I am just so happy that now I have something that's autumnal, not necessarily Halloween, because I've got loads of Halloween stuff, but specifically autumnal, and I'm absolutely made up. I'm now thinking like of all the different possibilities. Should I make a cardigan like this? I'm now starting to think, yes, maybe I should make a Halloween vest as well. I know that I was just saying, like, I've got loads of Halloween stuff, but you can never have too much Halloween stuff. And how cute would it be having like a Christmas vest? Oh my gosh, the possibilities are actually endless. So I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video, coming along on this crazy journey with me, making an autumnal vest. I really do feel like I am serving sort of like 1970s crochet catalogue realness right now. What do we think? If that was a category, you know, at a ball, I think I would be in with a chance of winning. But yeah, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, and if you can share this content, I would be absolutely made up. Thank you so much, guys. And if I don't see you next week in the Chit Chat and Crochet podcast, I will see you next Sunday, where we're going to be celebrating all things spooky. See you later, guys. Bye.